he was so in so many places, and he garnered so much love from so many different parts of the world and parts of the industry and parts of the country, that I was at the hospital when he died. Like, you felt it immediately. Like, this was not just historic, but things were gonna that he was only gonna get bigger in death. The people that were there basically were like the security from death row, family members, and like press like me. But there was probably like only like 4 or 5 of us from the press. But the scene was like, everybody was just tense, and you're waiting every moment to find out what's actually happening. And then I remember the day of, I just happened to get there like right on time. I think I was there for like 30 minutes. Suge came in, he was smoking his cigar as usual. And you could see the bullet fragment in his head, but he was he just had like this really foul aura around him, like it was like death followed him too, He came in, went inside, and then came out later. Then maybe 20-30 minutes later, the Outlaws came out, and I remember they were super upset and screaming on the nurses, and how could you let him die, kind of thing. And then you saw people coming out crying, and then Afeni came out. She wasn't crying, her face was just like stone, and she walked out, and then you realize that was it. There was a lot of rumors beforehand, but at that point, everybody understood. The hospital made the announcement, and it was just like, you just felt this like, this change in the air when like then you just started seeing all these people start gathering outside the hospital. And like I said, you knew immediately that he was going to be like legendary.
I didn't know what to say after that. Tupac's story, man, but the man's life, like, it seems really sad and tragic, because here's this guy that he wanted to change the world, do something for black people, all people from the ghetto, and then now it's over. You can't.
Well, if you look at it from like just a materialistic standpoint, it might feel like it's a sad story, but Afeni named him Tupac Shakur, right? Tupac Amaru. Tupac Amaru was a revolutionary from Peru back in the conquistador days, and he stood up for his people and stood up for like the indigenous people, and they killed him publicly. The oppressors of that time. So that's why Feni names him that. So in a lot of ways, he was the resurrection of that spirit. Just in modern times. So in a lot of ways, it kind of shows you that if you are truly committed to freedom of people, you'll live forever. You'll live forever. Even if your body dies.
I don't think he never was awake. I don't recall him ever being awake, but I recall him, being aware. He was aware. Okay. He was aware that we were in the room. They kept him sedated, and if he did certain things, they would, put him under a little more. When certain people walked in the room, he shook more, and he would shake and, I guess, know that we're in the room. They would come in and kind of calm him down a little bit. But he was never woke looking at us. He was on life support, or he was on respirators and things like that. I'm not quite sure it was life support each day. Again, I was young, but I think it was. I think he had tubes. He was hooked up to everything. Just everything was hooked up to him, helping him breathe. He's definitely on the respiratory system, and he never woke up and said anything or nothing like that. days of us going there, we were there because there was so many people calling and threatening on the phone. They knew that he was about on the first floor, on the right side of the hospital, and if they were going to come through and they were going to shoot the window up.
Really?
Until they killed him. And it was my idea to go get a U-Haul truck to park on the side of the hospital window. To just at least park it in front of it, because we couldn't put nothing else in front of this window because Pac couldn't be moved out of this room. And we put that U-Haul truck and we were walking around the hospital, securing the hospital every day and night. Making sure that people come up. And then you had like spies that was, I ain't gonna call them spies, I guess. They were journalists that would dress up as old people, saying like they were there for something else, and they'd be over there writing, and we'd catch them writing and recording and stuff, put them out of the hospital. Each day I'd go back in the back and see them. We'd be standing around. His mother stayed there. I don't think there was a time that I don't remember her being in there. Her and her sisters. We would just be praying. She'd be talking to Pac. And my last account with him, the night, I think it was the night before, the day before he passed. It was she and I, and I'm not sure what minister it was, somebody else in the room. But I know Afeni and myself, we were in the room, and she said to me, she said, sing a song. Sing him a song. And I sung The Change Is Gonna Come. I sang A Change Is Gonna Come.
Oh, a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living. I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. I go to my brother. I say, brother, can you help me, please? Instead of my brother helping me, he knocked me down on my knees. There was time that I thought I would last too long.
I sang A Change Is Gonna Come. It was like tears rolled from his eyes into his ears. And the doctors were saying that he was getting better, before I left that night, early that morning. I left like 3, 4 something in the morning. And when I woke up, that's when I found out that he passed. And I didn't believe it. I went down to the hospital and I seen all those people outside with shirts, posters, candles, playing his music. I was hearing my voice just from car to car, just playing different songs. Grown men in the street crying, women in the street crying, which was a story I made up. A lot of people say, is he dead? And when I went up there and I got to the hospital, and one of the nurses that would always greet me when I come there, she seen me. Just ran straight up to me. She just said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I just fell on my knees, and one of the guys just kind of like snatched me off the floor, snatched me off the ground, like covered me up with this cover and like kind of snatched me and took me off because there was so many magazines, newspapers and shit like that. So my publicist had them take me out because I was kind of, I was messed up. No, by the time they pulled me out because some people in the front. And next time I seen Pac, man, he was in a box before you even get an urn. He was in the box. He was in the box that comes straight from the cremation place. That was the next time I seen him.
This is Dale Pugh, Marketing and Public Relations Director for University Medical Center. This message is being recorded at approximately 5:15 on Friday, September 13th. Tupac Shakur passed away today at University Medical Center at approximately 4:03 p.m. Physicians have listed the cause of death as respiratory failure and cardiopulmonary arrest. Mr. Shakur's body has been removed from the hospital, and funeral arrangements are pending.